Hello and welcome to another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. I'm the player who plays the King Under the Mountain, and today I'm just going to do a very short video on how to maximise your account based around the current respect refund vouchers that we've been given and the ascension skill. There is going to be a couple of small points that will caveat this, but I think it'd be quite interesting. This could be around the current meta or around certain commanders that you might want to do. There is a full list. If you want to ask me, I will tag you the full list, but I'm just going to go through some specific examples of how you can maximise your account with the current voucher system. So, the current vouchers, and I know people were a little bit disappointed, some people, but as always, you have to try and make the best of what you can. So in this case, you got one for every single commander, and you could pull 10 items out of each commander. And I've used this feature, and I have pulled a lot of respect out of different commanders, which either didn't affect the level that they were at, or in most cases I wasn't ever going to use. So people like Thranduil, he's an elf, I'm likely to never ever use him. Gil I might use at some point, but at the moment he's still at respect 7, and taking the 10 items out of him didn't actually lower his respect. What I actually did was I took 10 out and put 2 back in to keep him at the same respect level. Obviously, normally you can trade these in at 1/3 of the value if you really want to, like you would with any normal ones, and then you can get the vouchers that you want. So at the moment, all this for me will be going into me trying to make Saruman R10. What I am going to talk through though today is the sort of taking advantage of this ascension system. And you will have these vouchers. Depends, I think, on how many that how many commanders you ascended or could ascend throughout, your entirety in the game. So you may not have these if you're a very new player. However, old players are likely to very much have some of these. So, for example, if I just press on Haldir, nearly forgot who he was then, I can break Haldir down with some other items and such like. These are all people who have been ascended in my account. Now, I'm going to go through a specific example today involving probably Dwalin's probably the easiest one to do it for. And I'm not actually going to do it, but I will show you what I mean. So, and this is what I mean by increasing your account size in the meta. So Dane, I'm pretty sure everyone has agreed, even with the changes to PBE, is still the best damage dealer in the game. I believe that's probably likely to stay around for a very long period of time. So if you want to up your Dane, you could trade your vouchers that you've got back from your commanders at 1/3, or hopefully you've got one of the following commanders from the list who all use the same Dane respect coin. So if you had an ascended Dwalin, or if you had an ascended Gimli, if you can also do this with. And I think there might be maybe one more with the Ifildin coin. Balin. So if you've got an ascended Balin, you can do the exact same thing as well. I think there's only 3 for Dane. So what you do is you can use, instead of trading at 1/3 to try and get more Dane coins, there is 40 Dane coins inside Dwalin. There'll be 40 Dane coins inside Gimli. There'll be 40 inside Balin if they are ascended. And what you can do is you can use whatever the random vouchers you've got now, because the change that they've done. So I could use all these random vouchers. And I could use any of these random vouchers. And I could use any of these 40 random vouchers. I'm not actually going to do this, by the way, because I don't want to use them. But if you wanted to, you could do all this stuff. Put all these in that you're never going to use, because they're off people like Thranduil and such like. And by pulling this ascension off, you will get 40 Ifildin coins, which I think is fantastic, by the way. It gives you a great opportunity. This new skill to be able to use any respect item to ascend someone is fantastic. It's a great game change. So you can get 40 Dane coins from there. You could also get 40 Dane coins from Gimli, and you could get 40 Dane coins from Balin if you are fortunate enough to have those commanders ascended. Other commanders you can look out for the meta. Obviously, people like Gandalf the White in the meta, so you could be ascending for Gandalf the White from memory. I'm going to look at my little list. So for Gandalf the White, he's using the white robe cloth, so you would be looking down the routes of an ascended Denethor, which some people did for the memes, to be fair. You would be looking at a Theoden or an Aemma. Now, to me, Theoden, I potentially might sort of say to people, keep him Theoden for now. But obviously, if you want to improve your Dane, not your Dane, sorry, your Gandalf the White, it's a great way of doing it because you can get 40 pieces from those ascended characters. Obviously, this is for people who have purely got these people R10 and ascended, or above R10 and ascended. So it's a great way of getting items for Gandalf the White. If you wanted your Sauron items, you're looking at people like Mouth of Sauron, wherever he may be. See if we can go into the characters. I don't think mine's high enough up. So if you wanted Sauron items, you can get them from something like an Ascended Mouth of Sauron. That is obviously the Flaming Coin. You can't get any for Bjorn, sadly. And you can't actually get any for Gil-galad, which surprised me somewhat. So I think there was another one as well for Sauron. So the other one for Sauron is Shagrat, which I don't think too many are going to be that high up. Apparently Eowyn also uses the white robe cloth as well for Gandalf. So that's quite interesting because, again, you could get more items from that. I know a lot of people have got Eowyn at high level. So that's that one. You also have... there's definitely another one for... I think. Maybe there isn't another one for... Flames might do Grishnak, which, again, not too many people are going to have at a high level. But just in case you do, you can use it. Other useful ones are people with the Uruk-hai Scriblings. So a lot of people will now be looking to play Saruman after the update, including me, to be honest. And there's a great way around this as well because you can use people like Lotr who use the Saruman item. So again, you just use that process of putting 40 random items in and you get 40 items for Saruman, which is a pretty cool way of doing it. Sadly, I can't do it because I haven't got enough Saruman items. And I haven't got my Lurts ascended. So that was that one. There's quite a few actually for Saruman, to be honest. You can use Grima, who a lot of people will also have high from before because he was quite a 1.0 hero from memory. I don't think mine is very high at all again. There's my Denny. Yeah, my Grima is only R4. So your other options for that are... Sharku, who I very much doubt people have got ascended, but some people may have, and it was just Lurts and Ugluk as well. So there's quite a few options for Saruman ones. There's options for a few different people, so I'm just showing you, for example, some things that will help you with the sort of new meta or meta formations. But I do think that system's a great way of going around it and then trying to maximize these vouchers as best you can. I'm really gutted that I didn't have my alerts ascended, otherwise my Saruman would already be sorted because I just switched these around. But this voucher here is the one you're looking for. And like I say, you use this ascension system, you get back these items that you put in. The list is online. If you want me to supply it, that's great. It'll be really helpful. Obviously, I've just given you a few examples. You could also do Shadow, for example, who I have ascended. And a few other comms have the Undyings item in them. So if you wanted to try and run an Undying rather than a Gil for the evasion, again, a great way of doing it is using this Ascension system. Spoiler alert, and I don't know if it's a bug, which I presume you would have to ask the devs first. If you have a unique which is upgraded, this is not refined, it's in upgraded. So this unique here that's 4 stars, sadly, at the moment, you lose the items within that unique, as in the gold items, completely off your account. They don't even come back as worn. They just disappear. They probably need to fix that, or you need to talk to customer support first. I can't imagine they'll disappear forever. If it was like this, for example, you would just get the Mithril back and there is nothing else to use. You will get the Mithril back on something like this. So that was just a slight caveat to that system. If you use these and take yourself below R10 as well, and you did have the unique, the same applies. So it was just be careful if you have them strengthened, because you will lose the items within them. Like I say, I think it's a great way of moving your account round. If you can get away with sort of bouncing these things down and getting some of the meta items out. So, for example, people who have got alerts ascended, great opportunity to up your Saruman, for example. People who have got Dwalin and Gimli, which is pretty much every good side player I would think who have started the game will have those. You can get 80 Dane coins straight out. You might be lucky enough to have Barlin as well. I'm just trying to put a positive spin on the current vouchers. I do think if you're creative, you can really improve your main combination. Hope that makes sense. If in doubt, always follow your nose.